Yo, what's up? This your homeboy Ice Cube, and you checking out the Basketball Time Machine with my homeboy Sean David.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hello and good day, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, we got a very special guest in the house. He's not only one of the most iconic hip-hop stars of all time, but also one of the most influential hip-hop stars of all time. Who likes old school basketball, by the way? Ice Cube, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
Now, Ice, on the 30 for 30 documentary, Celtics, Lakers, Best of Enemies, I learned that you were a huge Lakers fan. So yes. I will have to ask you something really, really bad. Like, Larry Bird, how much did you hate him back in the days, and what is your opinion about him now?
Oh, man, back in the day, he was like a nightmare. You know, a guy who could really spoil your night if you're a Laker fan. And I hated him for that. I hated him because, you know, he had always battled Magic. Sometimes Magic would win, sometimes Larry would win. And so, you know, looking at him, I just couldn't understand how he was, you know, as good as he was. And then I learned to respect him after a while, respect his game, respect how good he was, how he was able to play at his own pace, under his own ability. And so, you know, respected him for how good he was.
Interesting. So nowadays you don't hate him anymore. Now you make your peace with him.
No doubt. You know, those days are over. I still hate the Celtics, though.
You know, I actually was going to wear my Celtics sweater, but I thought, okay, I don't want to I just want to make sure we get through the interview first.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, okay. Now, you were a Showtime Lakers fan. Now, who was your favorite player then? Was it Magic?
Yeah, Magic Johnson. I mean, he's my favorite basketball player of all time.
Oh, really?
Yes. And definitely my favorite Laker. At the time, you know, he really could do no wrong. You know, I was so happy that he was part of the Lakers and he wasn't with nobody else, because then I'd probably hate him and he wouldn't be my favorite player. So I'm happy that it all worked out for me and him.
Okay, now since you were such a Magic Johnson fan, how happy were you when he had his comeback in the mid-1990s? Like, I think it was 96 or 95 when he came back.
It was special. Having him come back first, you know, being a part of the Dream Team and the All-Star game, and then actually coming back to play. You know, we welcomed him with open arms because he had brought so many good times to Los Angeles. So, you know, Magic, it's hard for him to, you know, get people in LA to say anything bad about him because, you know, he's done so much. You know.
So this is going to be the last question before we start talking about the big three. Now, the mid-1990s Lakers, to me, are like probably the most underrated Lakers teams of all time. I'm talking about the Nick Van Exels, the Eddie Jones, the Eldon Campbells, and those guys. Were you still a fan of those Lakers teams, or did it end for you when the Showtime era was over?
No, you know, I'm not a fair weather fan. I'm a fan that sticks with my team. So I was with them through those years, but you know, to be honest, those were special players, but those wasn't special teams. And I don't know if it was coaching or what, but they just couldn't put it together. And so, if you don't win a championship in Los Angeles, your team is going to have to take the back burner on the teams that make it to the top. So, it's all about championships in Los Angeles. It's not about playoffs. So.
Wow. I was expecting you to say, oh, those teams were great. Eddie Jones was so great. But okay, the clocks in L.A. are a little bit different. But I understand. Now,
those are great players. Don't get me wrong, but they couldn't put it together and
they were young.
Advance. Well, so, that you don't get any points or any credit for being young. You only get credit if you win or lose. The fact of the matter is they didn't win, so they're not going to be as talked about as the winners.
All right. Now, in 2017, I heard the greatest news that I have heard in many years. Your Big Three league. I saw so many interviews where you said that you were sad about that your heroes retired early and the guys could still play. They just couldn't handle the back-to-backs and everything. I thought the concept was genius.
Thank you.
Especially me being an old school fan, not enjoying today's NBA that much. Your idea was a blessing. So currently the new season is starting. What can fans expect of this season of the Big Three?
Oh man, they can expect, hard-nosed competition, guys playing the right way. We battle in the paint. In the paint area is pretty rough, but I think we have a nice fluid game that has great innovations to make the game faster and funner to play and fun to watch. We're trying to put all those pieces together when it comes to respecting the sport, so we don't make too many changes that people don't recognize, but don't be afraid to be new, innovative, and our games take place in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, so you don't have to sit 3 hours to find out who won. So it's doing the things that we know we need to do to make sure it's an enjoyable game to watch and play. It goes both. The players gotta love to play it, and they love Big Three basketball because they don't get a chance to play it like they don't get a chance to play round ball like we do when they play 5-on-5. So that's the first thing, make it enjoyable to play, and then enjoyable to watch, just as enjoyable.
The one thing that I really, really enjoy, and there are many things that I really enjoy, but the major thing that I enjoy is the game looks competitive again. Like those guys really want to win, and you see elbows being thrown. It reminds me so much of the good old days, and I'm just curious, how did you have to do anything to get the guys play this way, or did it happen naturally? How did the game evolve to the old school?
Well, we have incentives that make guys play hard. This year the winning team makes more money than the losing team. So each game. So you really want to win that game because, it's more money in your pocket. So that gets guys playing hard. But also players like Steven Jackson, Reggie Evans, they set the tone early on what this league was going to be about. And I think everybody missed physical play.
Yes, indeed.
And scrappy, hard to make a basketball, good defense, hand checking.
Yes.
Trash talking.
Yes.
Getting in people's face. I mean, that's part of the competition that makes them play hard too, because a guy could get in your face and he's not going to get a technical.
Yes.
So these things, this year, the Bahamas, if you make the playoffs and championship, it's in the Bahamas this year.
Nice.
Everybody want to go. And also our player pool. You first place make first place money. Eighth place make eighth place money. So these are the incentives that are not really in the NBA. The NBA, you get paid, your salary no matter what happens on the court. Here, it's not like that. You have to perform.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So you can see the Big Three on CBS, 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yes.
And you guys can also check out big3.com. Also very important. You can see all the stats, all the players. You can buy fan merchandise and all the stuff. Another thing that I want to say before we end, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf is playing. Is Glen Davis still playing?
Yeah, he's still playing. He was out with COVID. He has COVID. Yeah.
Who else do we have from the former NBA players? I thought they were. Oh
man, we got Joe Johnson, Nate Robinson. We got Jared Jacks. We got like you said, Big Baby Davis. We got Leonardo Barbosa. Jason Richardson.
Yes.
Greg Oden, Shannon Brown, Brandon Rush. I mean, the names go on and on and on.
Nice. So you guys, if you want to see some old school basketball, this is the only place where you can see new old school basketball, the Big Three. Ice Cube, it was great having you on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Anytime.